welcome to the Pelvic Power Podcast. My name is Penny, and I am the host of this lovely space. I am a pelvic floor yoga teacher who teaches people with pelvic pain how to use movement, breathwork, and body awareness to ease and manage their pain while living a pleasurable life. In this space, we'll be talking about all things taboo because we love it, and how to support your lovely pelvis and your lovely self on this journey that you are on. I'm very happy that you are here, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Pelvic Power Podcast. As always, I'm very happy that you are here today. I'm very excited to be bringing you this episode. I am right now sitting here waiting for my period. My friend texted me last night. He's like, hey, do you want to go for a walk? And I was like, no, I just want to stay at home. I just want to have a chill night at home. And then I sent her a picture of myself and I was like, I'm sitting here waiting for my period. This morning I saw her after yoga class or before yoga class. And she was like, how are you? I'm like, I'm just sitting here on this bench waiting for my period. And I'm still here waiting for my period. I love that moment when you get your period, because it might fucking suck for a couple of days, but it's like the end is near, and it kind of feels like a sweet release. If I have been feeling really good in my luteal phase this month, but usually I feel like very bloated and very agitated and just stuck, and the energy feels stuck and I don't want to be in it. And then when you get your period, you're like, it's like a big sigh. I just love feeling that way. And then that when your period ends, that little step from your period into your follicular phase, I love that part, because then you know that you're going to feel your most fabulous self yet again. And that's how I want to feel all the time. But alas, here we are. I'm in my luteal phase, sitting here waiting for my period, just so I can feel a little bit of hope, a little light at the end of the tunnel. That's all I want to feel right now. But welcome to today's episode. Today, I think we're going to talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. And you're like, what, how are we going to talk about this? Okay. There's going to be a couple of different things that we're going to talk about today. The fear of missing out. So I was teaching a yoga class yesterday morning. It was a Sunday morning. And I was just feeling so good. Like during that class, I was just like, I felt so aligned with myself. I went to bed Saturday night. It was like 9:30. I read my book before I went to sleep. I got up early in the morning, went for a walk. I had breakfast. I cuddled my cat, and then I went to teach this yoga class. And I just felt so energetically oomphy. That's how I felt. Very energetically oomphy. And it made me realize that I'm 35 years old right now. So let's take it back a couple steps. I got a message from a follower the other day, and this happens to me all the time. I get messages like this all the time. And the message said that they're worried that they're not going to find anyone because they live with pelvic pain. They don't want the other person to go through it with them when they're living with pelvic pain. That's a whole other podcast episode in and of itself. So we'll tackle that another day. But this got me thinking, alongside with me feeling good on the Sunday. We are brought up in the society that wants us to follow a specific timeline or fit into this box. What if you are not living in a box? What if you're living in a circle? If you can't fit that circle into that box, like, it's going to be crowded in the freaking box. You don't want to be in that box anyway. You're living your life in a circle. They put us on this specific timeline of what we're supposed to accomplish throughout our lives and what our life is supposed to look like. And if it doesn't look that way, then we have this fear that we're missing out on something in life, right? So again, I'm 35 years old. Some people may say that I should have kids by now. I should be married by now. I'm not even kidding when I say I probably get the question, do you want to have kids? Once a week, at least once a week. And I know that the clock is ticking. I know the clock is ticking. But this has really gotten me thinking too, what do I actually want out of my own life? So do I want to have kids? Do I want to get married? Do I want to find someone to live happily ever after with? At this moment? I would love to fall in love. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to fall in love. But right now, the focus isn't of finding something in someone else or finding someone else to compliment me. I want to feel fucking fantastic. On Sunday morning, when I was thinking to myself, I feel so good. On the Saturday morning, I'm 35. I could be out. Maybe I want to hang out with my friends. Maybe my friends like to party. And maybe I want to be there. I want to be invited. I want to feel included. Because also, you go out, you're hoping you're going to find the one or whatever. But does that align with me to go out and party just because I'm supposed to? Just because my life is supposed to look like that? For me, it's like making my life as juicy as possible for me. Right now, I'm on this path where I just want to feel good. I want to feel good in my body and my being. And the most important person to me is me. And I feel like we need to work on the sense of the FOMO, like we're missing out on something. How can you make your life so juicy that you do not experience FOMO? What can you add to your life so that your life feels more fabulous, more aligned with you without you having the other partner or without you having kids or without you hanging out with a certain group of people or without you owning a house? What if you created your own timeline that works for you? Maybe you're not supposed to be on the timeline that fucking patriarchy is telling us to be on. This is your timeline. What do you want? And when you think about it, do you actually know what you want? This is something that I've been asking myself a lot lately. Because, like, again, people ask me once a week, do you want kids? Do I actually want kids? Or is that just something that I was brought up with? Do I just have parents and grandparents telling me like, "Oh, it's time to have kids," or "When are you gonna have kids? I can't wait for you to have kids," or "When you have your own kids, you're gonna do this and this and this with them." Do I actually want kids? I don't fucking know. Like now, when I'm actually thinking about it, because I'm being with myself and I'm focusing on myself, what do I actually want? And sometimes it's hard to know what you want. Do you want to own a house? Do you want to own a condo? Do you want to live in the country? Do you want to live in the city? Like there's so many different things where that you can look at it. What do you actually want? So if right now you are sitting perhaps in FOMO, you're feeling like I want to be with someone, I want to find someone to spend my life with. How can you spend your life with you for you and focus on trying to figure out what you actually want and what aligns with you? Because, like, let's face it, if I was dating someone right now, and maybe they like to drink more than I did, and I probably have a couple more glasses of wine, I probably sleep in a lot more often. Maybe they didn't want to go on the morning walk with me, and I really wanted to spend time with them, then I might stay in bed with them. Or if they want to go on the morning walk with me, do I actually want them to go on the morning walk with me? Because I really like to listen to my books. Like, there's so many different ways to look at it, and maybe you're like, why are you getting so nitty gritty into this? No, but it's just important to ask yourself these questions. What do you actually want out of life? How can you create your life for you and not on some fucking timeline that you've been taught that you're supposed to have? How can you make sure that you feel the absolute best that you can feel tomorrow, even though you live with pelvic pain? Like, that's another little caveat. I'm not even sure I'm using that word right, but that's another thing that we're adding into the game. Like, how can you focus on you, support your body, your being, your pain? Also, think about the stress that you're creating for yourself when you're thinking about, oh my God, I'm supposed to be here in life. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. And trust me, I used to be there. I used to be there for years. I was in a long-term relationship for almost 7 years, and we broke up 2 years ago. Like, of course, you start to think about it. Oh my God, where am I going? Where am I heading? Who am I gonna be with? Am I gonna die alone? Like, there's so many questions that pop up. But then when you start to think about it, what do you actually want out of life? Because you are the most important person to you. You are the most important person to you. And I think that's important to remember. Like, you're not going to be able to look after anyone else or care for anyone else if you're not caring for yourself first. So, see if we can move away a little bit from the FOMO and actually think about Why am I upset about not being invited to so and so's party or dinner? Would I actually want to go to that party or dinner? Does that align with how I want to live my life? Or think about what kind of person you want to date, what they should align with as well. I'm just finishing up this book right now that's called Thank You More Please, and it's a feminist dating guide to today's dating world. And I do really, really, really recommend this book because it kind of helps you look at dating in a different perspective. And I think it's the book that made me realize that I don't want to date right now, and that's okay. When I'm ready to date again, then I can use the book to help me find the person that I'm supposed to be with. I do really recommend that book. Anyway, these were my thoughts for today. You're not late to life. You're not missing out on something that you're supposed to be having right now. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, and I know that it's fucking hard to believe that. But you are on your own timeline. How can you make that timeline actually you own that timeline? You are on that timeline for a reason. Think about all the magic, all the epicness that is coming your way if you're only focusing on your timeline instead of worrying about someone else's timeline that or a timeline that someone created for you instead. This was a very short and sweet episode. On that note, make sure that you do something for you today. And by you, that could be your entire being, and that could be for your body. If you do anything for yourself today, make sure that you do that. Go grab your free bingo card, do one thing on that bingo card, cross it off, tell me what it was, because I'd love to know. And until next time, remember that you are fabulous, and I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Bye.